Hi, this is a quick 30-minute workout, an express workout that you can do. Just don't have any injuries to do this workout. Otherwise, you should be good to go. So let's begin. All right. So come down onto your mat, please. And you're going to start seated with your knees bent. And before we start moving, can you stretch one of your legs out to make sure that your foot, when you stretch your leg out, is still on your mat, so it's not over the edge of the mat, because eventually we'll be stretching our legs and it's annoying to have to pull the foot across the mat each time. So squeeze the legs together and really squeeze them. And take your hands to the back of your knees and take your fingers on top of your knees, your thumbs rather. And now sit up as tall as you can for a moment. So press the shoulder blades down your mat and pull your stomach up along the length of your spine. And then think of pressing the crown of your head towards the ceiling. And if you look towards the video, when you're pressing your crown of your head up towards the ceiling, be careful that you're not lifting the forehead, the nose, or the chin up. You're in fact keeping your neck long at the back and the front and trying to press really the crown of the head up to the ceiling so your neck is long and straight. Okay, so now we're lovely and long and straight, but I want you to round your back. So think that someone has come behind you with some kind of bar or broomstick and brought it over your shoulders and right under your bust line. They're trying to pull the bar backwards, but you are trying to round over it. So as they pull back now, you pull your stomach in and roll backwards into a C curve, deepening your belly as you go. And then slowly, can you exhale? Keep the stomach pulling in, open the arms and return. Inhale to roll backwards, pull the tummy in. Remember the bar there, exhale, open the elbows and return. Let's do two more like that. Inhale backwards. And exhale, return. Be careful of the position of your head here. Often the head drops way down, it's like this, but make sure you're still able to look forwards. It's the bend is at the ribs, and exhale, return. Now take your hands off and let's do four like this. Inhale, roll back. Deepen your stomach, exhale, return. Watch, I'm not going too far. Inhale to roll backwards. I'm not going all the way down. I'm just going behind my sitting bones. Exhale, return. Two more, inhale back. Exhale, return. One more back. And this time, if you need your hands, feel free. Otherwise, exhale, roll down and lie on your back. And then can you hug your knees into your chest? And just rock side to side a couple of times across the back of your hip bones, letting one hip lift and then the other a couple of times, just massaging your back into the mat. Then I want you to put your legs into a tabletop position. And just a word of warning, if you get any excessive amount of tension or if you feel like your neck is a bit crunched here, put a little cushion under the back of your head, but not under the back of your neck, and use it as a bit of support. It will help you to find your abdominals. So our legs are in tabletop position. Take your hands down by your sides for a moment and bring your thighs a little close to you and then slowly take them a little bit away. Now take your hands onto your tummy, and as you bring your thighs closer to you, feel your tummy kind of relax. And as you bring them more close to 90 degrees, you'll feel your stomach muscles, the lower belly, push up into your hands. They're turning on those tummy muscles to hold your legs up. Inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale. Legs come towards you. Exhale, legs slightly away from you. Now your thighs should be around 90 degrees. You're going to press your arms down to the mat. Keep your back as it is on the floor. And then from here, imagining that there's something like a little bug underneath your lower back. You don't want to crush it, but you also don't want it to go running around your room. You're going to keep your back as it is. Inhale, lower your right foot all the way down to the floor. Exhale, return the leg to you. Inhale, lower your left foot and exhale, return. Inhale, the right goes down and exhale, return. Inhale, the left goes down and exhale, return. One more set. Inhale, right, exhale, return. Inhale, left, and exhale, return. Keep those tummy muscles working now. We're going to pick up the pace. Inhale, right, and then left, and then right, left. 8 more. 7. Stomach in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause here. Hug your knees into your chest just for a second and stretch the back. And then arms down again. Squeeze the fingers together and legs are in tabletop. Squeeze the legs together. It'll help you to really connect to your center. Now, we're going to make it more difficult by lowering both feet at the same time. So we're doubling the weight of the object that we're lowering and lifting with our stomach muscles. So inhale, lower the feet towards the floor. Touch. Exhale, slowly return. Inhale, down with the feet, touch. And exhale, return. Now you'll notice that the lower you go, the harder it gets. Exhale, return, because your legs are like levers lowering away from a center, and they're challenging it more and more the further away they go. Exhale, return. Here we go. Last time. Inhale to lower. And exhale to return. Now leave your legs in tabletop or hug them in while I'm speaking. The next exercise we're going to do, we're going to lower our feet all the way down into the floor, but when the feet land, I want your feet to land as if you're a little bird and you're landing on a roof, so no one even knows you've landed. They're so light that none of the work moves out of your stomach, so your stomach should still feel like it's working when your feet are completely on the floor. So slowly lower your feet towards the floor. It gets harder and harder and harder to do it, and then toes touch and heels touch, and you keep your stomach working. Squeeze your thighs together, pressing those arms into the mat. Feel the back of your hips on the floor. Inhale, slide your right leg away from you. Remember, I didn't say lift. Slide, exhale, slide it back in. Inhale, slide your left leg away. And exhale, return. Now we're going to keep going, and every time you slide one of the legs away from me, bring your attention to the back of your hips and see if you can even out the weight distribution between the two hips. You may feel like you're kind of rocking onto one, or that the weight shifts more to the other as you move, either in either direction. So see if you can fix it all by using the big brain and then the muscles. Good, and return. And one more here. Inhale, slide the left leg. And exhale, return. Now don't let anything go. We're going to add on, lift your arms to the ceiling. All right, now as your right leg slides, reach your left arm back behind you. And exhale, pull the arm of the leg back to the center. Inhale, slide your left leg as you reach your right arm back. Exhale, return, mental gym. Inhale, right leg, left arm. And exhale, return. And inhale, left leg, right arm. And exhale, return. One more set. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale, return. Last time, inhale, left leg, right arm. And exhale, return. Now bring those arms down by your sides and relax. And as you relax, you'll feel your low back pop off the floor a little bit. Your pelvis is sort of like, and everything is fine. So now we're going to turn over for a moment onto all fours. So either rock up to seated. You can use a leg to do that if you want to. You can roll onto your side to come up, or not. And then I want you to turn around on your hands and knees. So from this hands and knees position now, we're going to revisit a little bit the last exercise. So make sure that your position is really spot on. T-shirt there, it's getting right in the way. So your hands are directly under your shoulders. And how do I know? Well, my arms are straight. So they aren't angling in either direction. If they were angling in either direction, I would know that they weren't directly under. Harder to see where the knees are, but hopefully they're not too close and they're not too far, because you need them really right under your hips. So if you have the advantage of looking in a screen or a mirror or a door, a reflection or something, do so. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. Get your head aligned with your spine. Imagine you have a ponytail being pulled in one direction from the crown of your head, and a horsetail sticking out the rear end, and it's being pulled in the opposite direction. Now, stretch your right leg out behind you. Reach your left arm forward. Don't overreach, just a little bit. And then lift your arm and leg simultaneously off the floor. Hold it. And return. And we switch. Left leg stretches. Right arm stretches. Lift. Lengthen. And lower. And return. And we go right leg. Left arm. Lift. Lengthen. And return. Slide it back in. And left leg. Right arm. Lift. Lengthen. Lower. And return. And again, right leg. This is the last one. Left arm. Lift. Lengthen. Lower. And return. And last time, left leg. Right arm. Lift and lengthen. Lower. And return. Staying in this position, we're going to flex and extend the spine. So here's extension. Inhale, look up, arch the back. Exhale, tuck your tail and round your back. Inhale to look up, arch the back. Exhale to tuck the tail and round the back. Inhale to look up and arch the back. Exhale to round. Last time, inhale, look up and arch your back. And exhale to round your back. Stay round and just push your bum back towards your heels. Hopefully you can sit on them. If your knees bug you or your hips, open your knees a little bit. Drop your head towards the floor. Maybe your head can land on the floor, maybe not. And if your shoulders are healthy, wiggle your fingers forward towards the end of the mat. So breathe in and out. 2 more breaths. In and out. And 1 more breath in and breathe out. Slide your hands back towards you, press into your hands and come up to seated. Okay, so now we're going to do a stretch for here, for your quads and for your hip flexors, because we're sitting a lot these days, so it's important to stretch those. It's also important to stretch them so that the ones on the back side, your bum muscles and the muscles in the back of the thighs, don't get what we call inhibited, which means that they just sort of like, and they're not working anymore, they're asleep. So you don't need them sleeping, you need them awake. These need a break. These ones need to get to work. Okay, so I'm going to come up to this kneeling position. I'm going to shift the angle of the camera slightly so you can see a bit more. And from the kneeling position, so obviously I'm on my knees. You may not be able to see it all. So in the kneeling position, if you put your hands onto the front of your hips for a moment, and really make a very firm wall with your hands. Now, hip flexion is this. That's a flexion of your hip. Hip extension is this. So we want to extend our hips, and as we extend our hips forwards, basically we'll feel a length and stretch come into our quads. So press your hands here and push your hips strongly into your hands. And now you should feel at the back that, yeah, your bum and your hamstrings, your glutes and hamstrings are working. So keeping your hips pressed forward like that, scoop your tummy up and imagine you've got that bar there again, and just ever so slightly, you're trying to curve just slightly over that bar so that your upper back isn't tilting backwards as you move, okay? Keep your arms stretched out in front of you. Now we're staying like this as if we're sandwiched between two pieces of bread, and we're going to inhale, go back, and exhale, return. So this is called thigh stretch. Inhale back, and exhale, return. And it's really obvious why. Inhale back, and exhale, return. Two more back. Exhale, return. Make sure that as you're going backwards, your bum isn't dropping back. Push those hips forward, back, and exhale to return. Okay, very nice. Now, we're going to come down onto the stomach, and we're going to place both of the hands underneath the forehead for a minute, and we're going to do some back strengthening exercises, which are also partially extension. So lie down on your belly, please, and have your hands directly under your shoulders, and rest your head onto your hands under your shoulders, your hands under your head. And rest your head on your hands. Now, the legs can be either together or apart. Both are fine, but turn your legs out so that your heels are facing away from each other. And then stretch those legs long on your mat and keep stretching them the whole time. Now feel your rib cage on the mat. And now draw those ribs up into you so that you feel your tummy firm up and you have support for your spine from your ribs. Now when you're ready, can you inhale, lift your head, hands, chest, and legs off the floor. And exhale, put it back down. Inhale to lift everything. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Two more, inhale. Exhale to lower. One more inhale. And exhale to lower. Bring your hands right back by your chest. So your hands are on the floor and your elbows are sticking up like cricket wings. Lift your face. Imagine a big vacuum cleaner sucking your stomach up into your back. Pull that stomach up, up, up. Now push straight down into the floor to do half of a push-up and sit back, round your back as you go. Take a stretch. Let your head drop towards the floor and relax. Breathe in and out. And then roll up to seated. Very nice. Okay, so we're going to continue now lying down on the back. And we're going to do part of the abdominal series, but we're going to start with the 100. So we've got to do it. So here are your options for the 100. You can leave your head down, and if you have a cushion in front of your head, all the better. If you do decide to leave it down, you can pick your head up and curve your upper body forwards, which is kind of how you do it. Or you can lift your head up and put it down as needs be. If your neck bugs you, you put it down, you pick it up, you put it down. Or you can put one hand behind the head for the first 50, and then you can switch when I say 50 and put your hand behind the other hand behind your head. So you always have options to adapt the exercises for something that works for you. And you'll find with practice that as the weeks go by and every time you practice, you'll get stronger at staying up there, and eventually you won't need any support. So unless you take holidays and you don't do Pilates, then you will. Okay, so I'm going to tilt the camera down a little bit again because it's getting a lot of wall there. And we're going to rock on through this. Now, stretch your legs out in front of you and stretch those legs long. Okay, good. And lengthen your toes away from you too. So I'm not really asking you to point your feet like a dancer here. Just lengthen the toes. So you're getting a stretch in a totally different direction to when they're just in the shoes, right? So your hands can stay on your legs if you need some support, or you can reach your arms forward and then roll backwards. Slowly, 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 until you're lying on your mat. Now bend your knees and place the feet first of all on the floor and shift your pelvis around until your back feels comfortable. And make sure the back of your neck is long. Now we're going to lift our legs off the floor into a tabletop position, but wait, we're going to lift them with our stomach. So when we lift the legs, the back is not allowed to pop off the mat. So press your arms into the floor and lift just your heels. So you're resting on your toes. Okay, now drag your toes along the mat towards your bottom and lift both of the legs up into a tabletop position simultaneously. Good. Take your hands to the back of your thighs, breathe in. As you breathe out, lift your head and shoulders up, curve forwards. Now, remember the bar? So curve over it more. Look at your knees. See if you can try and lift up and over your knees. So open your elbows and keep lifting up, 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 and over, over, over. And then get the top of the shoulders down out of the ears and reach your arms forward. Firm arms, pump them up and down. Breathe in and out. 10, inhale and exhale. 20, breathe in and out. 30, in and out. 40, in and out. 50, inhale and out. 60, keep curving up and over those knees, out. 70, inhale, nearly there and out. 80, don't love this one, last two. And 90, last one, curve up and over your knees and breathe out, 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 out. And bring your knees into your chest and hug them in and hug, hug, hug. And put your head down. Now, when your head landed on the mat, just look in this direction. Did it land like this? So is the back of your neck all crunched up and short? Drop your chin towards your chest and lengthen the back of your neck. Okay, hugging those knees into your chest now for a moment, longer. We're now going to put just the right foot onto the floor and stretch the right leg out along the mat to open up the front of the hip. Okay, good. Keep that leg there stretched out. Slide your right hand onto your ankle and keep your left hand on your knee. And then lift your elbows upwards so your arms are doing something, they're not just relaxing. Press your shin kind of a little bit up into your hands. Keep those elbows lifted. Now again, lift your head and shoulders up and imagine curving up and over your knee. Stretch the left leg even further away from you to lift it up off the floor. Now inhale, pull, pull your right leg towards you. Switch legs, exhale, pull, pull. Inhale, right hand, right ankle, exhale, left hand. And inhale, exhale, curve forwards. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Now notice, I'm not rocking from side to side here. I'm simply waiting for the knee to come in. My hands are they're just shifting from side to side. I move my right hand to my right ankle and my left hand to my left ankle. We're going to do 4 more. Pull the stomachs in and straighten both legs. And 3. Good. And 2. Last one. And hug the knees into your chest. And put your head down onto the floor. And if you like, rock side to side a couple of times. Okay, good. Now we're going to lower the left foot onto the mat again. All the way down. Sorry, the right foot. And slide the right leg away from me this time. And just notice the difference between the two hips. So this side for me is tighter. The other one wasn't as bad. But it definitely feels like I'm getting a stretch here. Okay. So we're not going to repeat the previous exercise. We're going to go into a single leg circle here. So very, very slowly, please. Can you start to slide the right foot back onto the mat and stop once the whole sole of your foot is like on the floor. But you don't want to take the foot too close. So you're just from the extended position, you're slowly bringing it in and then, yep, my sole of my foot's on the floor. You stay there. Press the sole of the foot into the floor and don't allow this leg to flop in or out at any point during the exercise. Keep it steady and stable. So we're going to use it to anchor. Now bring your arms down by your side and I want you to stretch your left leg up to the ceiling. Now notice that I have straightened my leg. Now, if it's hard for you to have your leg straight at 90 degrees, bring it out to 60 degrees or to 70 degrees, wherever you can have it straight. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to straighten your leg. You stand with straight legs every day. So straighten your leg and reach to the ceiling, okay? Now pull the tummy in and without moving this right leg, bring your left leg towards the right, down towards the right knee, out to the left and back up. Over to the right, down to the knee, out to the left and back up. Now, as you're doing this circle with your leg in the air, you're concentrating on not moving the right leg, on keeping the left leg completely straight, on pressing the back of the shoulders into the mat, the back of the hips into the mat, the back of your arms into the mat, and one more, and exhale. Pause at the top. Now we reverse to the left, down, cross, and bring it up. To the left, down, cross, and bring it up. Again, your shoulders are staying anchored. As you move out to the left, your right hip doesn't lift. Good. As you move out and in, your right leg doesn't move, and you breathe and exhale. Now hug the knee into your chest and take a stretch, and then put the foot onto the floor and slowly slide along the mat until it's beside your right foot. Bring your right knee in and take a hug. So anchor the left foot into the floor, open the front of your collarbones, relax the back of your shoulders, make sure the back of your neck is long. And remember, if you're finding it difficult to keep your head in this position, put a pillow under the head, but not under the neck. All right, Extend now your right leg up and straighten it. Reach your toe towards the ceiling and think, I'd really like to touch the ceiling. Pull your stomach down, I'd really like to touch the floor. Keeping the leg straight, we go over to the left, down to the knee, out to the right, and back up, that's 1. Inhale, down, out, and up, exhale 2. Inhale, over, down, out, and up 3. Inhale, over, down, out, and up 4. Is your leg still straight? Inhale, don't move the left leg, exhale, and 1 more, inhale, and leg comes up, exhale, hold it up, I know it's hard. Now we reverse to the right, down, bring it in and up 1. Inhale, and circle up 2. Now as you're moving out to the right, don't let the left side of your body lift off the mat. So left shoulder and left hip are anchored. 2 more, and circle. 1 more, and circle. Bring your knee into your chest, hug it in, drag the other leg in as well, rock side to side to side to side. Very good. So either roll onto your side and come up to seated. If that's good for you, you can just like roll over. I'll show you this way, or you can rock up. Very nice. Okay, so we're going to flip over into the tummy one more time here. We're going to do extension. So this is our swan prep. It's also known as neck roll, but I'm avoiding doing the neck roll because I think it's important to kind of teach that in the live situation because people can do very weird things with their necks. So let's get onto the belly. Now, when you get onto your stomach, the same rules always apply. When you're on your stomach, ideally you'll have your legs together with your heels together and toes apart. But if that doesn't feel good for you, or if your lower back's like, no, I don't like that, then open your legs slightly. Don't open them all the way, but just a little bit of opening in the legs will loosen up the hips enough that your low back will probably feel comfortable. Okay, and the same thing applies to the position of your hands. So the ideal position to do this exercise is with your hand under the shoulders and your elbows are sticking up off the mat. I can't do that. So I start further forward, and each time I repeat the exercise, as in the first time I have them here, the second time I come up, I'm here, 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 and I bring them slowly closer to me. Sometimes though, my back is so stiff that I start taking them further away because that's the only way I can kind of start to get up because my back's stiff. So if you've got a stiffer back or low back problems, start wide with your hands almost off your mat and about head level. And then if it works all out for you, you can take them a little closer, a little closer, a little closer. If you want, you can start here if that feels natural for you. But if you come up and you can only get your head off the mat, then you need to take the hands further out so you can start lifting everything as far as the belly off the floor. All right, so now blah, 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 extension. So let's flip over onto the tummy. Okay, so in this position, like I said, your legs can be together or they can be apart. Okay, I'm gonna leave mine slightly open because I have a tight back. So my hands, I've got my thumbs on my mat and my fingers are off the mat. That's where I like to start. And this may work for me, it may not. So if you want to have your hands there or even closer in underneath your shoulders, if it feels good, go for it. I can't correct you because of this video, you're getting it as a recording, but I'll try to talk you through the corrections you need to make. So stretch your legs. You have to stretch the legs the whole time. You can't forget about them at any point. So there's a lot to think about. Rest your head on the mat. And now feel your ribs, the front ribs, and pull the ribs up into you. Okay, we're ready to move. Inhale, lift your face. Now look forward. So you're looking out to sea. Press into your hands to lift your chest, ribs, and tummy. And then exhale, replace your tummy, your ribs, your chest, and then your head. Okay, if it's okay for you there, if you were able to come up, let's do it again. Inhale to come up. Stretch the legs and exhale to come back down. Stretch the legs. Again, inhale to come up. And exhale back down. Again, inhale to come up. Now hold it here. Are your shoulders up in your ears? Drop them down. Is your stomach lifting? Lift it up into you. Are your legs still stretching? Are your arms straight? Are you looking forwards? Exhale, return. One more. Inhale to come up. And exhale back down. Now, bring your hands, no matter who you are, right back by your chest again with your elbows sticking up in the air. The only reason you wouldn't do half a push-up is if you have an injured wrist. So lift your face off the floor. Pull your stomach up as if it's being vacuumed up off the floor. Push straight down into your mat. And now make your way back to seated, rounding your back as you go. And then relax your head towards the floor and breathe in. It's a nice counter stretch. And out, make yourself into a small shell shape. Inhale, exhale. And one more breath in. And out. We'll roll up to seated. And now we're going to turn over to do some of our legs. So when you're doing your legs, I'm going to show you this from the back. And then I'll flip over. you stretch your legs out on the back edge of your mat. And what you're looking to do is get your hips, your pelvis, literally on the back edge, but not falling off because you don't want to be falling. So I'm here, and there's a teeny tiny bit of blue mat between the very edge of my hips and the back of the mat. Then I want to stretch my upper body out and then rest my head for a moment. Now I need to make sure that my upper body is in the same line as my lower body. So usually when you lie down, the chest ends up here. So there's way more mat here than there is down here. So take your hand, reach back and go, oh yeah, now I need to move my ribs backwards to get them on the same line as my hips. So effectively my bum and my upper back and then my head, which could be way forward, they're all on the same straight line. Now I can lift my head up if I want to and prop up my head like that. I'm going to turn over. Okay, so you're propped up. This is a good position for some people. This is a good position for more people. So, and the cushion between the head and the ear is a really nice position too. So I'm going to go here, because that's where I do it. So this hand now is in front of your ribs. Okay, lift your feet and bring the feet forward toward the front corner of your mat. Now we lift the top leg up and you inhale, flex the foot and come forward, point your foot and press your leg back behind you. Inhale to the front and exhale to the back. Now, as you're doing this movement to the back, you need to start to notice if you are now rolling your weight forward as your leg goes backwards, which means that are you really moving your leg backwards, or are you just making a shape with your body that's kind of half with the leg back, but also using the upper body to give me the impression, give yourself the impression that the leg is going further back than it is. So how do you stop that? Well, you can take this elbow further down so that it's pressing against your hip, and as your leg goes back, push your elbow into your hip to prevent it from coming forwards. Flex to the front and push to the back. You can even take your arm and really press it. Inhale and exhale, press so your hip won't come forwards anymore. So the problem is for people whose hip rolls like this and their shoulder rolls, the problem is in the hip. Okay, so it's instability in the hip, too loose. Last one, and to the back. All right, reach your leg back behind you. Remember, if your hip rolled forward, you've got to fix that. Stay there, stretch your leg even longer now. Do circles, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Reverse the circle, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Bring your legs together. Now turn your top leg out so that your heels are together and your toes are apart. Now I want you to land like this each time. Point your foot, lift your leg up, flex your foot, lower it back down, point to lift, flex to lower. Point to lift, flex to lower. 2 more up and down, and 1 more up, and bring the leg down. Now keep the heels together, toes apart, but point the feet, press into your mat, bring your legs back to the back edge of your mat, do little flutter kicks forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Bend your knees up in front of you, press your hand into the floor, come up to seated, and then bring your legs the opposite way. So remember everything that we went through, the mini tutorial of how to get everything stretched out long. Start with the legs, literally get your pelvis right onto the back edge of your mat, but so that you're not falling off. And then think, right now my ribs have to be lined up with my hips to stretch out your arm. And then before you even lift your head, take your hand, go right here are my hips. Where is my upper back in relation to my hips? Move the ribs backwards. Usually that's what happens, okay? Ribs are too far forward. Then the hand comes in front and you can prop the head up or not. Top shoulder down, lift your feet and bring them forward to the front corner of your mat. Lift your top leg, flex your foot, inhale forwards, exhale, point and press back. Inhale front and exhale, press back. And for those of you who feel now, as you're going backwards, that you're rolling forwards, slide the arm down. If you need to pick it up, but push your arm into your hip to prevent it. Imagine that a big pole drops down from your ceiling in your room, drops right in front of your hip. So as you're bringing the leg backwards, your hip can't go anywhere. Front and press back. Again, front and press back. 2 more, front and press back. 1 more, front and press back. Hold it there. Circle 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Reverse and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Legs together, heels together, toes apart. You're in Pilates V. Land here as well. Point, lift, flex, lower, heels together, toes apart. Point, lift, flex, lower, heels together, toes apart. Up and down. Inhale up, exhale down. 2 more up and down. 1 more up and bring the leg down. Okay, so now you're going to roll back over onto your back and we're going to do hip thrusts, which are fun. So turn over and get onto your back in the center of your mat. No cushions under the head here because we're going to be lifting the hips. So whenever you lift your hips, you don't want any kind of cushion under your head. You can hurt your neck. So keep your feet on the floor and open the feet slightly and bring your arms down by your sides. Relax. Make sure the back of the neck is long. Now bend your elbows so you're making robot arms, and then make soft fists. So your fists are kind of pressing up to the ceiling and your elbows or your forearms are at 90-degree angles. All right, so you're going to press into your feet and your upper arms, your triceps, and you're going to lift your hips up to the height of your elbows. Keep on lifting. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and come down. And lift up and hold. 2, 3, and lower. Lift and hold. 2, 3, and lower. Lift and hold. 2, 3, and lower. Press those hips up as high as your fists and lower. Lift up. 2, 3, and lower. 2 more. 2, 3, and lower. 1 more. 2, 3, and lower. Now we're going to do single leg, which are way harder. You may need to boost around with the position of your feet here. If you do, feel free. It's normal that you kind of go, oh, I need my foot to be slightly in, slightly out, slightly left, slightly right. But still use your arms. It will help massively. And another thing that helps here is think about the crease of your hips here. As you lift up into hip extension, think of the crease of your hip like an eye that's semi-closed in this position, being stretched open, like being pulled open, like really freakily as you lift up, okay? So lift your left leg into a tabletop position. All right, let's do this. We're going to do 4. Press into your elbows and your upper arms, and then open that eye, hold, 2, 3, it's hard, and come down. Lift up and hold, 2, 3, and lower. Lift and hold, 2, 3, and lower. Last one, make it worth it. 2, 3, and come down. Switch legs, and let's do this. Right leg, and lift and hold. 2, 3, and lower. Lift and hold. 2, 3, and lower. Notice the difference between the two sides. This is my weaker one. 2, 3, and lower. Last time. Up, 2, 3, and lower. Hug both of the knees into your chest. Rock side to side a few times. God, it's good. Okay, to finish, we're going to come up gently to seated. So either grab the back of one leg and rock up, or roll onto your side. All are good. Whoop. And we're going to finish with a spine stretch forward. So I want you to open your legs as wide, if not wider than your mat, and sit up tall. Now, if sitting up tall for you is like, everyone wants to do this, that's normal. But if it's actually impossible for you to sit up tall, if you're like, no, I can't sit up tall because this is where I have to sit, not from tiredness, then you take your mat and you roll it a few times until you make a wedge. And then you sit the end of your sitting bones, just your sitting bones on it. So that will put slack into your hamstrings. Your legs will be able to straighten you and find, oh, great, I can sit up tall. It's because you're short here. That's the problem, and usually short here. So I don't need that, so I'm gonna let that go. So sitting up, again, your feet are wider than your mat. I want you to take your fingertips and put them on the floor between your legs, really just the fingertips. You're not resting into your hands. All right. So if you were in the studio with me, I would put my leg against your back and I would say to you, I want you to roll off my leg one vertebra at a time, but I don't want your lower back to come off my leg. So from the back of your head, as far as the back of your belly button, you're going to come forwards, trying to reach towards the end of the room. But this part of your back is going to pull backwards towards my imaginary leg. And you're going to pull it backwards by using your stomach and scooping it up, 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 and back, back, back. So fingertips on the floor. Breathe in, sit up taller. Now breathe out, drop your head, round over that bar from earlier on, stretch your fingers forward along the mat, keep dropping your head, keep exhaling, but pull your lower stomach back to my leg. Inhale, slide your hands towards you, sit up. Exhale, slide the hands away from you, drop your head around your back. Exhale, 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 exhale. Inhale to slide back up. Exhale to reach the hands forward and empty the lungs as you pull the belly back towards my leg. Inhale to sit back up. We're going to do a little bit differently now. Exhale forwards. Stay there, all stretched. Now keep the stretch in your arms, keep the stretch in your back, in the back of your legs, in your stomach. Lift your arms off the mat until they're about ear level and they're stretching forward. Pull your stomach back. Now inhale, sit up tall and arrive with your arms at shoulder height. Now exhale and re-find that previous exercise, that previous shape. So exhale, stretch the arms forward at your ears, drop your head, pull your stomach in. Inhale to sit back up, arms at shoulder height, and relax. Bring your legs together, and you're done. Very well done, everybody. Okay, take care and see you soon. I'll do another one at some stage soon. Thank you.